Does your home feel chaotic no matter how hard you try it, with every system or routine you try and put in place falling apart within days? I am here to tell you this is not your fault. If you've got ADHD, or indeed you're managing an ADHD child, then this is about ADHD. It's about how ADHD brains work and needing the right systems for you. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 quick wins that you can use to make your life a whole lot easier. Quick introduction to me. I'm Jennifer. I'm a neurodivergent mum and ADHD specialist, and I have lived in that home where I cannot get organised, cannot keep control of things. Everything is constantly chaotic. And I have found these ways help me to get on top of things, and that's why I'm going to share them with you today. So let's dive right in, starting strong with the first one of reducing visual clutter. Now, this is not just tidy things away, put them in a cupboard, and then you'll feel a lot better and lighter. That is neurotypical advice. It doesn't really work for ADHD brains, especially when we've got brains that mean they're out of sight, out of mind. If I put something in a cupboard, it's gone. I'm not going to see that again. So I need systems where I can reduce the visual clutter, but it's also easy to use the system, and I've got enough visual cues to remind me what to do next. And I'm going to tell you how to do all of those things as we go along. So I mentioned there visual cues, and visual cues are so important. Now, this could mean things as simple as, for the children, putting up a list of the things they need to do each morning to get ready for school. It could mean putting timetables by the front door so we can quickly and easily see, do we need PE kit today before we leave the front door. Those sorts of visual cues are really beneficial, and it takes everything out of our mind. Write everything down so you're not trying to hold it in your memory. That is going to make you feel lighter. It's going to be a lot easier to keep on top of things when you've got those reminders to do it. And look, visual cues are not just limited to posters of morning routines or our to-do lists. They also apply to the things we want to do, like our hobbies, for example. If playing a musical instrument is something you want to do, have the musical instrument out, the things you need to be able to play that instrument in sight. Remove the barriers to picking up that instrument and playing it. If it's away, tucked away, you're going to forget it's there. It's going to feel like too much effort. At the end, I've got to put it all away. If it's something you enjoy doing, have it there ready to do. If you want your children to be doing arts and crafts rather than being on a screen, put the arts and crafts where they can see them, where they can just go and get them and start without having to come and ask you, without having to find the things. And they're reminded, crucially, that that activity is there for them to do. Screens are there, they're visible. It's this massive big thing in the lounge. We can see it, we know. Easiest thing, flop on the sofa, pick up the remote control. We need to make the other activities just as simple and have those visual cues to remind us and them to be doing it. Now, the way that we make those visual cues work with the first tip, which was to reduce visual clutter, is to have systems where it's easy to put things away. So this means that, yes, our arts and crafts are out and visual for us so we can see them, we know they're there to do. But that doesn't mean we've got pens and paper scattered all over the table. It means we've got a container for pens, we've got a container for paper. These are either labelled or they're clear bins so that we can clearly see it. It's something that's visual, but also not feeling like it's a mess. We can see it, but it's contained, it's organised, and that means as well, it's really simple. I use the pen, I put the pen back in the pot. We're again removing barriers. We're not making this whole difficult system where I've got to go and get the pens out the cupboard and then they're all over the table, and now I've got to the end of the activity and actually I'm a bit bored of this activity now, because come on, let's face it, children especially will get bored by the end. They're not going to then want to go and clear that up after that. But if we've got this craft area, it's here, they can just grab the pen, use it, put it back in the pot. That's what keeps the systems working, because we're making systems that work with us and the way that we do things. And I've mentioned barriers a few times already in this video, but removing barriers and keeping routines simple is so important for our ADHD brains. We need to make sure that everything that needs doing has minimal steps. Once there are too many steps, that puts a lot of pressure on our executive function, our working memory, and there are certain things that, I mean, certainly for me, there are things that just never quite go in. I have to take an asthma pump every day. I have done for a few years now. I still do not remember to take it. If it is not there, sat next to my toothbrush, I won't remember to take it. If I've packed it to go away somewhere and forgotten to unpack when I get back, it'll be a few days later when I'm having an asthma attack that I suddenly remember I should have been taking it. That's what I mean by keeping routines really simple and visible. I need that visual cue to take my asthma pump. And if we don't have that, if we put things away, behind cupboard doors would be the same problem for me. It has to be there in my face to remind me. So the more that we keep these routines simple, we keep the things that we need for what we're doing in the place where we need it, that makes our lives a whole lot easier. Another one for me is PE kits. Got children in secondary school, regularly PE kits are needed on different days of the week. So it's really important that those PE kits are not put away somewhere. There was a time I was going to the bedrooms and putting them away. Let's face it, by the time I've done that, they've got to come out again and we've got to go digging around for them. So now the PE kits go in a basket where they're needed, where we pack the school bags. So they're there exactly where they're needed, when they're needed. Again, we're reducing the pressure on our mornings by making sure that we've got the things as we need it, rather than trying to fit some societal rule about where clothes should be put away in bedrooms or anything like that. Break those rules. Those rules do not need to apply to us. And my final tip follows on from that one, which is stop forcing things that don't work. And this one is so important. Once I have mentally got this into my head and understood it and valued it and really believed it, that was when our lives changed. I certainly was brought up in a world where there was certain expectations about, say, how a house should look when visitors turn up, for example, or expectations on kind of what norms applied that really, when we look at it, I couldn't explain exactly why that existed, except for the fact it just is and has been for centuries. We need to break these rules. We need to make our homes ours. Our homes do not belong to any visitor that comes. They are not somebody else's. Our homes are ours. They are our safe places, our sanctuary, a place that is the foundation that enables us to do everything else in life. So we need to make sure that our homes work for us and that every part of that works. And if that means that your dining table is in front of a TV, or you don't even eat at the dining table, or you have reminders stuck up all over the place, whatever that means to you, whatever's important and what makes your life work, that's what's important, not some random rules. So forget the rules, break the rules, stop trying to force yourself into somebody else's expectation of how you should live, and make your home work for you. And before I get to the end of this video, there is one final really important tip that I need to share with you, and that is do not try and do all 5 in one go. There are so many things that we can do to make our lives easier with ADHD, but if we try and do all of those things in one go, we're going to be overwhelmed and it's all going to collapse. Try one thing. Try one thing that you've taken away from this video today, put it in place today, see your life get a little bit easier, and that'll give you the capacity tomorrow to do one more thing, or in a few days' time, whenever you're ready. But don't rush it, don't overwhelm yourself, and don't try and aim for any kind of perfection. This is about what works for you. If you'd like a calmer and more organised home, you can work with me directly. There's details in the description below of how to get in touch, how to work with me. But also, I will be putting content out on a regular basis with more hints and tips. So hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss a single one.